All right. We're going to talk about how we talk at work. And this isn't something about, sports or The Bachelor or anything like that. We're going to talk about how we can improve communication at work. Think about how you interact with the people that you know at work. And and challenge yourself to really say, is this the best that I can do? Could it be possible that my day could be better if I interacted with my colleagues better or vice versa? And so let's talk about that. Let's talk about what is the method of communication that happens on a daily basis for not only for you, but for your entire company or your department. And I'm going to guess that a lot of it is transaction based. But spoiler alert, there's probably transactions all throughout your day. And if you treat your conversations like transactions, that's all it's going to be. You give me this. It's like the episode of New Girl. It's like, I give you cookie, you give me cookie. I give you cookie, you give me cookie. It's just not, that's it. But if we if we focus on the nuance and expanding some of the content and conversation in our day to day, it's going to be so much better. If we walk into people's offices or the only interaction we have with people is, did you see my email? Did you see my email? Can we meet? Can we set up a meeting? We need to set up a meeting. Or did you finish that project? Or where are we on this? It's just, your day is gonna not be great. And there's a good chance that the person you're talking to is not gonna be great. And your relationship with them is not gonna be great. But one thing that we can recognize is that we see good things happening at work. We see things getting completed. We see people going above and beyond in their job or interacting at a level that is positive, maybe with a customer or with a guest. So find those moments and make those the focus of some of the interactions you have. Think of it as almost like you're making Kool-Aid, right? It's I feel like it's 5 parts sugar, 1 part water, but I think it's 5 parts water and 1 part Kool-Aid. But if you have 5 or 6 conversations in your day and interactions, try to make a few of them non-transaction based. And what I mean by that is walking into someone's office and simply saying, hey, listen, that meeting we had the other day, I thought you did a great job. I thought you handled yourself well. You made some really clear points, and it really helped me to understand where you're coming from in your department. When was the last time you just straight up complimented somebody, but not like, hey, I like your shirt. That's not the point. The point is, why do you like the shirt? Why do you like the way that they handled themselves in a meeting? Get hyper specific. The more specific that you can be in a compliment, genuinely, the more genuinely it will come across. If you just say, I like your hair, people are like, oh, okay, thanks. But if you say, well, did you do something different with your hair? Have you done something? I'm telling you, it just looks great. Or those glasses frame your face perfectly, right? Or just saying, hey, I think the problem was a lot of people didn't understand your point the other day, but in that meeting, you really cleared things up, and I think people know exactly where you're coming from. That was a great job. And by moving away, and listen, after you say that, just walk out of the office. Don't make it about you. Don't make it about the weather. Don't make it about The Bachelor. Just literally get up and walk out. Just the more that it's shown that there's no but. I hear a lot of people just waiting for the but. Hey, listen, you did a great job in the meeting the other day. You were so awesome. Everything you said was great. It really cleared things up. But where are we on that project? Right? Or but this weather sucks. Or but did you watch The Bachelor? It just completely negates everything that happens before the but. So remove the but, remove your but, walk out of the office, right? Remove your but and walk out of the office and just let them sit there and go, oh, wow, the only reason that person came into my office was just to say, great job. And the more that you make this a part of your life, you'll realize that you're having a lot of transactions throughout your day. Literal transactions, say at gas stations or stores, where you're just interacting with people. Here you go, thank you. Level up those conversations. Compliment people that you see in stores, right? The people that work at stores, your server, your bartender, whoever it is. Level up those interactions and move away from a transaction and start complimenting people there. But you could probably see where I'm going. I mean, when was the last time you complimented somebody in your household? Right? Truly meant it. Not just like, oh, that's a great, good job on your schoolwork today. But saying, hey, listen, I see you working really, really hard on your homework. And I want you to know that I noticed it. I'm sure your teachers notice it, but I just want to tell you, great job. I guarantee that little moment will have that huge effect on your daughter or your son. Compliment your partner. I mean, when was the last time you just truly complimented them? And and the more that you see the reaction, the more you're like, oh man, I want to do that again. Because imagine the feeling that you got on your last true compliment. Imagine yourself in that moment, and then realize that you have that power to turn around and do it for other people. So you felt so good about how somebody talked to you and what they said to you, but I mean, turn it around and give it to them and see what happens. Now, in a company culture, I call this high fives and heck yes. High fives and heck yes. And high fives and heck yes are the foundation for culture. When we talk about culture in a culture in a company can mean a lot of things for a lot of different people. People think it's, everybody doing their job well, or the company's profitable, or, we have not only a Keurig, but we get donuts once a week, whatever. That's not culture. What culture is almost an unquantifiable feeling that you're excited to be at work, that you feel valued at work, that you feel like you have the resources at work. But more than anything, it's that there's a collective feeling that you're a team, that the company across departments, across responsibilities, across shifts, across everything feels like a team. And so what do they do on teams? High five each other, right? And I'm talking like literally sometimes high five people. Like high fives are great. I don't know at what point in our lives that we stopped high fiving people, but I love high fiving people. And there's nothing like just boom, high five. And it sounds silly, right? And there's some of you that might shake their heads like, I'm not high fiving anybody. But look at it, what the point is of a high five is a genuine outward expression of praise. Focus specifically on someone for doing something. So look at the moments in your day that you could find where you could high five someone. Even if you don't literally extend and high five, or you find yourself holding your hand up and nobody's following through. If you don't want to do that, look at how you can walk into somebody's office, think intentionally about what you're going to say before you say it, and tell them, man, the way that you did that the other day, or the way that project ended up, or, thank you so much for doing this. This helped so much in my day. You have no idea how much help that was. Boom, high five. And see how they react, right? But of course, remove your butt, and get out of their office, right? Make it just about that one thing that you've said. And then the other side of it is the heck yeah, right? So we have this outward idea of accolade and praise. The heck yeah is meant to be said under your breath, right? As you watch the field of play and you see your teammates doing stuff and they do something really well. And it's subtle, right? It's subtle moments of things that you've seen them practice on, things that you've seen them work on by themselves and try to get better. And you say it under your breath, heck yeah, man, that was awesome. Heck yeah, I saw that. And you find those little moments that you start recalling, those little details that they're doing really, really well, right? Because the point of what we're trying to do here is do the little things consistently at a very high level. I mean, that is the point of being better. So when you find those things where you see them doing that and you say under your breath, heck yeah, right? All of a sudden you've timestamped something. You've timestamped something that they're doing, and you start to collect not only things that you might be able to share with them later, like, hey, I saw you, I noticed that, but also when we talk about feeling like we're on a team, is like, look at the effort they're putting in. Heck yeah, like I can do that too. I'm a part of this. And this seems warm and fuzzy. This seems like, oh, like our staff meeting's going to turn into kumbaya moments. It's like, you know what? I'm actually okay with that. I'm actually okay with it turning into a kumbaya moment. Okay. Like, I think that it's all right because the opposite of it is a bunch of opportunities where people aren't doing that. And it doesn't feel great. I mean, when was the last time you did actually feel like you were in a room holding hands singing Kumbaya? Like, I don't think that's a negative thing. We're never going to get to that level, but high fives and heck yeahs, when they become the center and focus of your culture in your company, it changes everything. But it also happens at home. It can also happen when you're dealing with strangers. It can happen in every aspect of your life. Just like this framework of communication is supposed to be a linear framework, it's supposed to happen all throughout your day. No ups and downs, no changes, no code shifts. The same thing here, right? The same thing where, my dog is barking, but the same thing here where you find yourself in a situation where you want to effectively communicate with people. You also need to find how to remove the transaction feeling from it. That it's not just trying to influence people to get them to do what you want them to do, it's also to influence them in a positive way, for them to understand and see what you see. So, just in summary, we're talking about how to communicate and compliment and change the mindset that every conversation is not a transaction. Let's try to spend our day changing out the parts. Like, let's get some compliments in there. Let's get some high fives. Let's get some heck yeahs going and see what happens with your company culture. Thanks for joining. I'll see you next time.